Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M12, the Tier 7 American SPG, and we're located on the west spawn of Sand River Encounter. And the name of the player is 2CX737, and battle is about to commence. And battle is off. Now, they made 100 of these M12s in reality. It's based on the chassis of an M3 Liege. You can see there it's got the M3 moulded hulls, which are bolted together in the factory. And they put a French designed 155mm howitzer on top from World War One. But it's quite an effective little arty. Oh, he's over the edge on that there. Okay, and he's looking for a target. Now he's perched on that edge there. That could actually affect his aiming, because if he turns the vehicle he might drop off the edge. Okay, he's got an Object 257 and a Jagdtiger. Looking at both of them. Going for the Object 257. Dialed in, round out. Yeah, he almost did fall off the edge, but he got a splash hit for 73 hit points on the 257. I'm a bit curious as to why he is hovering on the edge there. You see, the thing is, the enemy can't see him, it's just too far away. So he could actually sit quite perfectly on the flat ground and still be able to shoot at the enemy. He's actually making it more difficult for himself. Right, round out on 257. A better hit this time, but it was still splash for 184. And he's still perching on that edge. Okay, there's an enemy S-51, the Tier 7 Soviet SPG, otherwise known as the Unicorn. Okay, looks like he's got it in for that Object 257, who's going to get mightily pissed with getting hit by a 155 all the time, and he gets hit again, direct hit for 159 this time. Now, I think he's going to change his aim. Looks like he's going after the Jagdtiger, but the problem is, because he's perched on the edge like that and his gun's pointing upwards, it's difficult for him to get a solution on the Jagdtiger, and it looks like the shell would hit the ridgeline before it hits the Jagdtiger. So it might not be worth firing at the Jagdtiger just yet. He has fired, and yet it shoots straight past the Jagdtiger at high speed just in front of him. So it was the wrong target to fire at. Now it's the right target, the 257. There's nothing in the way. No ridgeline to worry about. He's loaded. There's another Jagdtiger further up that valley. You can see it there? Yes, there is. Oh, he's seen it. Okay, I think he's going to go for that one. It's side on, but it's pointing down the valley at our players, and it goes right into the side for 315 hit points, 3 critical hits. Good strike, nice amount of stun as well, and he's receiving fire, which means he's picking up stun assistance, and the Jagdtiger's out of the game, taken out by the S-51. Now the S-51's just slightly to 2CX right at the moment, just up on that little pass. And there's an IS sitting in the dip. Right, we've got an Object 257. The same one he hit before. Round out. Oh, it splashes him for 186. 3 critical hits. It's tracked him. That makes him an easy target for somebody else who wants to put shells into him. You can see the holes on his tank already. Some of those are from the shell impacts and the Arty shell impacts. Okay, I'm not sure if that did anything. It might have stunned the 257. T-34 2GFT tank destroyer sitting over that edge, trying to shoot at the tanks that are coming up the river valley or the riverbed. Okay, there's that Borsig. Sitting the other side is the Jagdtiger. The Jagdtiger is a very difficult hit. You can see the red line extends from the dune, not from the actual Jagdtiger. That means that if he tries to aim at the Jagdtiger, all that's going to happen is the shell will hit the dune, not him. That's why it's such a bad target when he's sitting on the reverse slope, and that's also why that's such a good place if you're in a tank that's spotting to be there, because you can't be hit by Arty very easily. But once you pull away from the dune, you can be hit, and that 257 is away from the dune, but he narrowly missed him there. And the Jagdtiger's pulled away, but we lost the Borsig. Okay, looks like the S51 is aiming at the Jagdtiger, because there's arrows indicating that he's attacking. Right, that T-34 2GFT has been seen again. He seems to have fended off rather, most of the attack that was coming down the riverbed. In fact, I think he actually wiped them out. He's got 2 kills, so I think he did take out a couple of those tanks. Right, there's the Jagdtiger again. Still sitting on that reverse slope. Difficult shot indeed. Round out. No, it hit the dune. I did indicate that, mention it, that if you're going to aim at the tank, you really need to have a red line extending from the tank, not from the dune, otherwise you will hit the dune. Okay, he's going to go for the T-34 2GFT. That's a better target because he's actually got kills. And there's the enemy Arty making a run for it. One of them is the Lorraine 15550. He's not fully loaded. He is now. Right. Trying to work out where that Lorraine's going to be. He fires a round in. I suspect he stunned that Lorraine, but he didn't hit it. Now you see those dies on the ground. I've actually been to a Berber area of Morocco, and I can tell you it does actually look like that in those villages. There's the S51, and there was the S51. He's just been taken out by the 704. Okay, Jagdtiger again. He's still sitting on that reverse slope, and it now looks like 2CX decided to give up the position that he was previously in. And with good reason, because there's an IS headed in this direction. And I think he spotted that on the mini-map. He's in the A row at the moment. But I think he's headed towards this area, the spawn area. And the S51's seen that as well. And he's moving. In fact, I think he's moved just to change his firing position. But there's the IS. We can see him now. He's in the, not too far away. Close enough, though, that he needs to do something about it and get out of there. I think the Wizzy 120 actually was the one that spotted the IS, or is spotting him at the moment. And the S51 is also heading in this direction up into the dunes. Wise decision. I do love these panoramas, these vistas. Wargaming's done a fantastic job with the graphics. Really looks beautiful. And there's the IS. Okay, well, he's almost within visual range. Now he's dialing in on the target. Looks like he's going to try and take a shot at the IS as he's coming up that dip. The 120's nearby. Oh, he's backing up the dune. He lost sight of the IS temporarily. There's the Jagdtiger. Okay, he's just received a hit. And that was a shot from the S51. 2CX dialing in on the Jagdtiger. Work out where he's going to be. Fires. Nothing comes back, so obviously he probably missed the target. He did snatch that shot a little. I know a lot of players have a habit of actually snatching the shot, pulling away immediately on the visuals so they can actually see what's going on around them, but that can have a detrimental effect upon the aim sometimes. Okay, he's loaded with another round, and he's now on flat ground, which will make it easier for him to aim. And he's moving closer to the cap. Right, 4 versus 4, 2 RT, a tank destroyer and a heavy on the enemy team. And there's the IS. And he's gone down into the dip. Now the Wizzy 120 is above him on the far side. And I think he probably knows that, but he's gone down in the dip for protection because that Wizzy 120 can pump him full of holes. There's the Wizzy. You can see it just coming into view. And I'm pretty sure that IS is in the riverbed at this moment. And the Wizzy 120's... There he is. There's the IS. Okay, he's too far up on the slope, and that means he can't get a aim directly on the IS. Now he's leveled it out. Round out. And it's a direct hit. 249 hit points. Good strike. And he stunned him. Made him more pliable for the Wizzy 120. The Wizzy 120's lost sight of him temporarily. We'll see him again very shortly. There he is. Okay, and 2CX almost reloaded. But can he get a shot onto it? Not at the moment. He can now. Round out. Right into the rear. Takes him out. Only 37 hit points on the second shot, but that's all that was needed. And that's his first kill of the game, surprisingly. Even though he's got 1,200 hit points of damage. And there's the Jagdtiger, and he's up on that ridge line, looking over the riverbed. Dialing in, and he's pulling back. Oh, round out. Right into the side for 158 hit points. And he's facing off against that Leo. Oh, this is going to be bad for the Leo. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, even though he was stunned, the Jagdtiger's got a very powerful gun, and he just plastered that Leo, put a hole straight through and blew him up. Okay, ready to shoot again, and round out. And that's a hit. 208 hit points. I heard the round from the S51 come in. And there's another shot going in there. I think that's from the Wizzy 120, who's taking shots from about midway on the dunes. You can see him in the distance at the extreme end of his view range. And the Wizzy 120 doesn't really want to get too close because he can snipe at that Jagdtiger so long as he can see him. And there he is. Oh, and there's the enemy Arty again. Round out. And another direct hit. 144 hit points this time. Now, hopefully the Wizzy will actually go after the Lorraine first. Take him out of the distance. And it looks like the Lorraine just fired. These new sound effects, you can actually hear this whiz noise as an artillery round goes out from some of the Arty. And it's very realistic. Previously you had to use mods to get that sound effect, but Wargaming including some of these mods into their standard game does improve it immensely. Some of the German Arties make this very funny whizzing sound, which is actually very real, very, very lifelike. Because if you ever hear the videos from World War II films, you can actually hear that whizzing noise as a shell goes out. No sign yet. We know they're in that area. There's two Arty, a GW Panther and a Lorraine 15550. Well, they were last seen in that area, and I think they're probably going to stay round about that area. I don't think they'll have moved much. 2CX indicating that's where he's looking. That tells the tank destroyer what he's done. He's come up all the way round the top, and he's now coming down. Now that's a very dangerous move because that might give the Jagdtiger a chance to actually shoot the Wizzy because he's near the place where the Leo was taken out. Near those dying pits. There's the Jagdtiger. Yes, he is there. Round out. And he gets another direct hit. 227. And the Jagdtiger is taken out by the S51 who kill steals. And that just leaves two remaining Arty. And there's one of them. The Lorraine 15550 has come all the way up into the dunes. Okay. Dialing in. Absolutely perfect. Just waiting for the load to complete. And... oh, he fired just... He jogged his aim just at the last second. But he finally hit the target. But it didn't finish him off completely. 62 hit points. That is the last enemy because the GW has just been taken out by the Wizzy 120. And it looks like the S51's going for the Lorraine as well. 2CX almost loaded. He's loaded. He's been spotted by the Lorraine. Round out. Oh, right into the side. takes it on his second kill, and to add insult to injury, the S51 rams the wreck of the Lorraine to finish him off and say, well, that's done, that's finished. Okay, let's have a look at the end of battle results for that one. And it's an ace tanker for 2CX737 in the M12. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in that battle. And because he used up all his ammunition and killed the last enemy with the last round of ammunition in his magazine, he gets a Fadin's medal. Very rare, very difficult to get hold of, because it means you virtually have to run out of ammunition. Well, you do have to run out of ammunition to win this medal. And if you get it wrong and you don't kill the last one with the last round, you're empty and you can only ram the enemy. And I've ended up in that situation more times than I care to imagine. Anyway, let's have a look at the team scores. Well, he managed to get second highest amount of damage, 2,473 hit points of damage. Came second to the Object 704. When it came to kills, he was joint second with the Wizzy 120 with 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, he was second again to the Wizzy 120 with 1,135 experience points. Let's have a look at the detail report. Well, 2CX fired 20 rounds, all 20 rounds in his magazine. He got 11 direct hits, 11 penetration, and 4 splash. Did damage of 2,473 hit points, of which 2,411 were at more than 300 meters. He hit 5 of the enemy, that's 1/3 of the enemy team, but he only killed 2 of them. But he did do 1,197 hit points of stun assistance off 13 stuns. On a standard account, he made 30,956 credits, and he received a battle payment of 4,643 credits, as well as a personal missions payout of 10,000. So his grand total came to 45,599 credits, and after ammunition resupply, he was actually left with 23,199 credits. He received base XP of 1,135, but it was ×3 for the first victory of the day, and he had a personal reserves bonus of 100%, so his personal and the personal missions payout as well, so his total came to 5,108 experience points altogether. So a very successful round there for 2CX. My only recommendation for him would be, if you can't be seen by the enemy, you don't have to perch on the edge of a cliff like that, or you know, on the edge of that ground, because by doing so you're actually making it more difficult for you to aim. If you keep the vehicle flat and level, it makes it much easier to aim at the enemy, because I noticed in a few of those shots where you were aiming at the enemy, you had difficulty getting the aim directly on the target. And when you're actually facing on an upslope, when you were aiming at the IS, because you were pointing the gun upwards, you couldn't bring the aim down onto the IS, and you had to reverse to get the vehicle flat so that you could then shoot at it. So my only recommendation there would keep the vehicle flat, and so long as you can't be seen by the enemy, you can find a position that you can fire from with reasonable degree of protection. So good game, 2CX. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in our next video.